Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is In A Barbie World.
The podcast where we look at every Barbie movie from 1987 to the present day.
From fairy tales to literary classics.
From Mariposa to Mermaidia.
It's time to get unboxed.
Readjust your lippy.
Rock the ball gown.
And let's get our Barbie on.
Barbie as the island princess. Spoiler alert, I guess. She's a princess.
Do you know, I hadn't even thought about that.
Like, that is a twist in this movie. But it's also in the title.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was never going to be a surprise, was it?
Yeah, she's Barbie. Like, she's 100% royal.
And it's one of those that lives in this weird world of kingdoms and princes and princesses. So yes, I guess so. It wasn't going to be the Barbie as Dr. Dolittle.
Yeah, which is basically what it is.
Pretty much.
And like very little island as well in this island princess movie, which I was a little bit bummed out about.
I wanted more island time.
Yeah.
Basically, they're off their island within about 3.5 minutes.
Literally. So this is a musical. And I could tell that from the opening credits. They have this like whole shot of the sea and the outskirts of the island. And just the overture that was playing as the credits were rolling, I was like, that sounds very like musically. That sounds like a bunch of themes that are going to come back. And then it is, and Barbie is washed up as a child with a like casket with like row on it with some of it cut out. So I thought it was going to say royal.
Like
yeah.
I think it's a trunk. I think's the word, isn't it?
A trunk. And she is essentially adopted a la Mowgli by the island animals, of which there is a red panda, an elephant, and a peacock. And we meet the red panda first, and it came on screen, and I was like, because we all know how we feel about Barbie animals.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh, it must be male because there's no eyelashes.
Yeah.
And then it spoke, and it was male. And then the elephant arrived, and I was like, that is a lady elephant because it has like eyelash extensions and blush and like lipstick, and like it's beautiful. It's a thing of wonder.
What about the peacock though?
And then the peacock, the peacock that's like channeling the John Cleese frog from the Swan Princess. Like he's insistent that he's royalty. Like that's a real trope. Yeah, he's also male. Well, he's like a weird in between, isn't he? Because he's so fabulous.
I think the word in my head was camp. I don't think a Barbie movie is actually ever going to have a gay character, but clearly fabulous. Favourite show has got to be RuPaul. But of course, the irony is, of course, often in the bird world and certainly in peafowls, the man is the male is the glorious, glamorous, highly decorated one. Is there another animal there?
No, just the three. I think.
And the crocodiles. So I just do the Stephen. What's the word? Well, that's not quite very accurate, is it?
Just push your glasses all the way up your nose.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of set. It is kind of set on Earth because they talk about the South Seas, right? So I'm guessing this is kind of set off the coast of Southeast Asia or something like that.
Okay.
All right. The elephant's a small elephant. I'll give it that she is the Indian breed of elephant. So I'm going to allow that.
Okay.
I'm going to allow the peahen, the peafowl, the peacock, because I think they are from that area.
Amazing.
I am not going to allow the red panda because they come from the fucking Himalayas. So yes, they come from colder climates. They don't live on tropical islands.
This one does.
But they are also one of my favourite animals.
They're so cute, aren't they?
I love red pandas. Also, did you know they're not even pandas? They have no relation at all, other than being mammals, to the great panda. It's just one of those misnamed things. But I love red pandas, and I went to Marwell Zoo during lockdown. when it opened, and they've got red pandas there, and I was very upset because they were so high up and asleep at the top. The
Oh,
fact that they
they're
can
always asleep.
the fact that they can live in Marwell Zoo should give you a clue. They're not from the South China Sea. But yeah, it was a bit just an odd animal to choose.
Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it? And like, I don't know if just like they were like that they're cute and they'll make good plushes. I don't because like everybody
I
loves
think
a
there
red
is I think
panda.
there is a bit of that. Yeah, but they're funny old animal. Obviously, the big giant panda obviously is also cute, and although
Mm.
although
Hmm.
useless because they should have become extinct
They
years
should be
ago because
extinct. Yeah.
they can't eat enough food to let them move around. But yeah, red panda's really cool. I thought I love a peacock as well. These are some of my favourite
Mm.
animals. Other
Nice.
than the elephant, I don't really like elephants, but
Yeah, and the elephant's that classic like ugh tiresome character where
mm.
they just do things to be annoying, and you're like, oh, stop.
However, it's brilliant because she learns to speak animal. I'm assuming
Yes.
there is a language of animal rather than
Well, surely yeah,
all the
that's
animals seem
true.
to speak the same language wherever
They all
they're
seem to
from.
understand each other, yeah. Yeah. Um, so yeah, shipwrecked Barbie turns up on this island and is raised by these animals and learns to communicate with them. And then they have this really great opening number where she's all like Tarzaning across the trees and she's like, "Welcome to the island where we have adventures and everything's great and it's not like Lord of the Flies at all. And we all get on and it's fun and oh yes, I eat some coconuts and everything's pretty with flowers." And you're like, wow, like I'm really trying to just enjoy this movie, but I'm just like so terrified of the idea of like growing up on an island and how like uncomfortable and gross that would be. But you're making it look really nice, so congrats.
So you're not somebody who would like to go off and live on a desert island then.
I don't think
Home
so,
comfort.
no. Maybe the island, this island, yes, because it seems lovely.
There is a lack
But
of spiders and snakes and insects. I have to give you that. I agree.
yeah,
But
and like it's safe, the ground is safe, like the climate is safe, like everything's just very lovely.
it doesn't matter though, does it? Because
Because
as
we're
much
leaving.
as it's nice, we're leaving soon.
So good. So she's got this nighttime song that she sings that they get in very early, where she's like, "Go to sleep, this is a lullaby from my human days." And then the second verse, she's like, "I don't quite remember the words. I only know this bit." And it's so brilliant. I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna sing that with a like that is a goddamn duet if I ever heard one, and you're gonna either sing that with like a prince or a parent
Yeah.
later. Like I can feel it and I'm ready for it and I'm here for it and like well done. Yes, I love that kind of shit. Give me more."
Do you know what I
Um,
liked also? In
yeah.
terms of, because you know I don't like musicals, right? I think
Yeah.
we've discussed this before. I kind of like that these songs are all kind of shorty, snippety. Nothing,
They are, aren't they?
everything's about a minute long, which is perfect for me because what the
Mm.
song does is basically just acts as crikey, what's the word? They're just explaining shit
Yeah,
in
like
the plot.
expositioning.
Exposition, that's the word. They're just exposition songs, and they all last about a minute, and they're all very innocuous. Some of them are quite toe tappy, but I don't
Mm.
have to spend 6.5 minutes listening to it. I watched Hamilton the other day. Jesus Christ.
You're
Um,
the only person in the country that hates
I
Hamilton.
don't hate Hamilton. I just think there is time where people can just talk.
Not in a musical, there isn't.
Well, there can be. Anyway, I kind of like the songs and the musicalness of this.
Hmm.
What was the previous musical? Was that 12 Dancing? No, blimey.
No, we haven't had a musical since Princess and the Pauper, I don't
Yeah,
think.
so this is only the second musical, I
Mm.
believe. Yeah, Princess and the Pauper was nice, but I think there's something about this. The songs were just a bit, like you say, exposition friendly. Explained a bit of the
Mm.
plot, explained the background of the characters. That's what I like from a musical. Tap my toe a little bit. Nice.
Yeah, definitely. And like, none of the songs are particularly memorable, but they were enjoyable.
I'm not even sure they're
Um,
different songs. Aren't they just the same
no.
song with different words every time?
Yeah.
There was a bit of that going on. I'm certain. Themes and
Um,
ideas, but
yeah. So Shipwreck Barbie is soon joined by John Smith Ken, who turns up on his boat and he's like, "Ah, land." And you get the impression that he's like an explorer that's like trying to discover new worlds or whatever. And so him and his like friend, like the most pointless character in the world, come onto the island to try and discover, and it's very Pocahontas. And
he's like the state scientist, isn't he?
Yeah,
because he comes up
like
later
the Darwin
as the worst scientist in the world ever.
But
we'll get there.
So they're exploring the island and they fall down a hole and they go into this lagoon, and then out loud as they fell, because Barbie's sort of following them and watching them, and as they fell, I wrote, "Oh no, my cannibal trap! Oopsie daisy!" So I was having a really great time watching this, because I was like, Barbie's gonna trap them and then eat their flesh. Like, that's where I see this going. I really feel like that's the direction in which this movie is going to take. But then something horrible happened. And I've written in caps lock, "Nope, no, 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 crocodiles, no."
Hang on a minute. Can we just go back?
Yeah.
Did you call it a cannibal trap?
Yeah.
Thank God for that. I was thinking.
You're like, oh God, I didn't watch this movie properly.
I watched it twice, and I was thinking, I didn't realise there were cannibals on this desert island, because that's a discussion you've got to have with your 9-year-old daughter, isn't it?
That was me as Barbie being like, "They fell into my trap. Oopsie daisy. Guess we'll roast them on a spit now."
Or maybe that's how they survived.
They eat everyone that comes to visit. But no, and then we get fucking crocodiles, and like they don't try and barbify them. They're just really scary, horrible crocodiles.
They do.
I hate crocodiles. They should be extinct.
So I was also, obviously, with my obsession about where animals are from. Just making sure that you can get crocodiles in Southeast Asia. Mm-hmm. And that they are called crocodiles, because as you know, there's crocodiles and alligators and caiman and something else. There's another one, and they're all actually different species and not technically related to each other in the way that you might think they are. However, yes, in Borneo you have a freshwater crocodiles, so I'm going to allow it.
I'll allow it. I would not like to allow it because I hate crocodiles and I think they should all die. Are
you a fan of lizards in general?
I don't mind lizards. Like, I don't mind like scaly, like amphibian-y, reptile-y things. It's just crocodiles that I'm like, ew.
Okay,
no.
Interesting.
Why are you here? You're like a dinosaur. Like, at least sharks, like just stay out the water. Because it's fine, whatever. They should also be extinct. But like, they're just in the water, and I have no reason to be in the water, so it's fine. But I do have a reason to be on land. So can you not be on land, Mr. Chomp Chomp Monch Monch? Gonna shake you till your neck breaks. A horrible like Komodo dragon. I hate Komodo dragons as well. And it's the same vibe, the same like inward footing where they like do that weird like pug walk.
Because they've all got rickets. They don't get enough fruit.
I hate them so much. And they're bumpy backs, and like I don't know if Peter Pan made me frightened of crocodiles, but Journey to the Center of the Earth definitely made me frightened of Komodo dragons. And they serve no purpose. Like, what do? They don't help anything. They're like wasps. They're just here to be a dick.
Do you know what the good news is?
What?
Not native to Suffolk.
Very true. And that is the only reason I think
you might have a couple of strangely imported large mammals like koipus or something that live in that neck of the woods, but you don't know crocodiles.
We've got a mammoth in Ipswich.
You have. So, and to be honest with you, we don't really have that many lizards or snakes or anything because it's too cold because they need to bask. I don't mind a crocodile. Wouldn't want to hang out with it. And to be honest with you, even in this film, they are pretty. They just do what they're told.
They're scary. They're really scary. I would be frightened if I was a child. I was frightened, and I'm 30. Like I was frightened of these crocodiles because I'm used to my Barbie animals having a full makeover, and they just throw me some like scary, snappy crocodiles.
This isn't the scariest animal in this film, though. But we'll get there.
No, it's not.
Hopefully, our minds are in the same place.
Yeah, I think they are. So she's like, "Stop, don't eat them, that's my job." So the crocodiles go away, and I thought Ro, because basically when Ro is what Barbie is called in this movie, which is a stupid name, and it's because her trunk appeared with the label that has half of it cut off, and the only half we see is Ro, so they've just called her Ro. And I thought it was going to stand for royal,
Right.
but it's not. It's like her full name is Roella,
Because that's a name.
which is also a dumb name.
So again, this is going to take us a while to get through this movie, but I have a question.
Okay.
If you tomorrow found out that your real name wasn't Emily, and that actually you were adopted or something, and actually your real name is something else altogether, would you say, fuck it, I've been Emily for 30 years, we're sticking with it, or would you take on your new name?
I would keep my old name because it's my identity. As someone that's gone through drama school and watched a lot of people struggle with like stage names and real names and their sense of identity and this split personality thing of like, who am I? What do I respond to? What do I feel right in? Being called and stuff. I would just stay with my normal name.
So we're not going to be calling you Rosella from now on.
No.
What a
thank you.
stupid name. Anyway, yes, not Emily. Rosella's a stupid name. Just in case people get it wrong. Yeah, no, I was just thinking, because I know that obviously in Western society, often when ladies get married, they take on their husband's name, and it's a complete ball ache or whatever.
I wouldn't do that. I would keep my name because my surname is Badass.
One of my friends, he got married and he took her name.
Oh, sweet. Is it because she had the better name?
Oh, yes. His surname was Pratt. Yeah. I kid you not. And I think he spent his whole life looking for a woman just to get married so he could get rid of his surname. Pratt with 2 T's. Bless him. But yeah, lovely couple.
Aww.
But yeah.
Yay.
But yes.
So going forward, I demand all of my Kens should have to do peacock impressions.
Okay.
Because in this movie, we established that most normal humans can't understand the animals because the peacock is talking. And the Ken is like, huh? And the Barbie is like, yeah, I get it. And she's like, can you not hear what he's saying? And he's like, no, all I hear is, rah, 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 rah. And he like full on goes for it. And I was like, yes, Ken.
That was quite good, yeah.
So good. So this Ken is like funny and he's like nice and he's adventurous. And these are all things that I'm going to say now because he gives a very good first impression.
Oh, that's a sentence loaded.
So basically, Ken is like, you should come back with me and see where I'm from because it's peopled with people and you are a people, so you should come and see where the people live. And that's the first of many Little Mermaid references and reflections I'm going to make because this feels very Little Mermaid. It's fish out of water, isn't it? It's Barbie out of the island.
Why doesn't she speak like a 6-year-old, by the way?
Like, how is she able to be so mature and
erudite,
and like and human? Like, why doesn't she walk on all fours?
Yeah, I mean, I know that we know this is a Barbie movie, but there is another film here that I'm pretty certain exists, where we take the island girl to
to civilization, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not saying that Native American, but there is I feel a big Pocahontas vibe here as well.
Big Pocahontas, big Little Mermaid as well, as this like learning to walk type thing. So she gets on the ship with Ken, and she insists on bringing her animals. So an elephant is on the boat.
It's a tiny elephant, though, isn't it? I mean, Indian elephants are smaller, but this elephant is stuck in some creepy
baby. Yeah.
You know the film Orphan, where the girl is really 35
like 30
years old, but looks 9. That's what this elephant's like. It's clearly got some terrible disease that it hasn't aged. Some pituitary gland illness, but it's kind of sweet stroke annoying in its own way.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not the worst thing I've ever come across in a Barbie movie.
No.
It's not the worst thing we're going to come across in this Barbie movie.
No, that's coming. I know. We're nearly there.
They sing a song and it's a really fun song. It's a duet. As usual, I really like how Barbie's like, I just want to find out more, and like I'm not interested in love at this point, but I'm like just really interested to get on this boat and see where it leads us. Meanwhile, Ken has got the love angle and he's doing it like a fucking twat. He literally is like, She's so different from the girls I met before. She's not like other girls.
And I'm
Never,
a horny
ever
toad.
say that.
Yeah.
Never say that. Never put another woman down to try and compliment a woman. Like, don't do it. It's not fucking fun. It's not attractive. It's shit. You come from a society where these women are forced, and to this movie's credit, they do sort of delve into that aspect and showcase that as a thing, where it's like, these women don't have a choice. They're forced into this way of being by society. And that's not their fault that they all have to learn the pianoforte, sewing and singing. And I'm so sorry that you find that boring, Ken, but it's not the women's fault. And you could take any number of women on your boat and take them off for adventures, and I'm sure they'd be willing to. You've just never tried, Ken. So don't suddenly start coming for this island princess being like, oh my God, she's not like the other girls. She's so cool and different. Like, shut up, Ken. Okay? Yeah, she is cool and different. But you know who else is cool and different? Probably a bunch of women in your hometown. Yeah, if you just took the time to get to know them. So shut your trap, Ken. And that would be fine if it was a throwaway line in this one song. But oh my God, does he keep like bringing home this point?
It is his
It's his like personality trait.
It is. It's his Tinder profile saying,
Yeah.
I only like girls who are different. Which always reminds me of the Thriller video where Michael Jackson says, I'm not like other guys. There's so much to unpack there with the benefit of hindsight. But yeah, I do know what you mean. He is a bit of a one track mind on this.
Yeah.
And he does try and recover it a little bit later, but honestly, it is all right.
It's exhausting.
I get it. It's a bit like, oh, I only like her because she's dirty. You know, she's been born on a desert island. She's not got the air and graces because she's got all that. So she is no fucking different to anybody else.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the other weird thing about this. Anyway, are we back? So he introduces her.
So we come back, and this woman that's like the same age as Barbie, if not younger, looks out of the window, talking to what appears to be Ken's dad, the king.
Yeah.
And I thought she was some sort of first of all, I thought she was like a stepmom because she just looks so young.
Yeah.
They talk about how, we need to tell him he's back. We've done something in secret, which I thought was their marriage. I thought he suddenly had a random stepmom that he wasn't expecting. And she has a pet that whenever somebody has this kind of pet, I'm like, well, they must be evil.
God.
Because she has a monkey, which all of the worst people do. All of the evil people, especially if a woman has a monkey, run away.
And we've had this before, haven't we?
Evil.
The 12 Dancing Princesses. Didn't the queen there have a monkey?
Oh, yeah, she had someone. Yeah, pretty sure. Something like that.
I think this is the same model of monkey. The CGI model of monkey. And when you say monkey, it looks like a strange little person in a white outfit.
Oh my God. It's so... At least the monkey in the 12 Dancing Princesses looks like a monkey. Like, I don't know if they were trying to rectify the outlook on monkeys for children to be like, not all monkeys are evil, but this poor creature is this like... It's like when they started making Beanie Babies existed and they were great and they vaguely looked like animals, but they were fun little toys for children. And then all of a sudden someone decided to start making everything really, really fluffy with like enormous eyes. So the face is like mostly eye. So like this is what this monkey is. It's like a weird humanoid face with huge eyes, with eyelashes, of course, eyebrows that would make the Kardashians proud. And then it's like white.
It's white. That's the worst of it. What it looks like is, do you know when you've got like a toddler and they're out in the cold and they've got these kind of all-in-one jackets?
Yeah, like jumpsuit type thing.
And then and it goes over their hair and all they're showing is their face. And this looked like a skinny version of that because there's no, they can't do hair.
Yeah. So it looks just like it's so smooth.
It's horrible.
And then to add to that, it's got like lipstick and blush, and it's got like a crown and like golden bracelets and like bracelets on its tail and stuff. and it sits like a little girl, and it acts like a child. And the queen, because she's the queen apparently, even though she's like 20, and the king is like 40. The queen is like, oh, my darling little pet, what would I do without you? As though it's like some sort of surrogate child. And the monkey is like an American person, I believe, doing, or at least this is what it sounds like, doing a British accent, but like a RP British accent. So
Yeah,
it's
whole
like,
pronunciation thing. Yeah.
oh, hello. Oh, we can't possibly do that. That would be silly. I'm a monkey. Oh my God.
Doesn't she say something along the lines of she has to use a knife and fork to eat and something like that? It's just,
Oh, you're offering me a pomegranate without a knife and fork? I couldn't possibly.
isn't it a fig? I thought
Yeah,
I assumed
something
it,
like
I assumed
that.
it was some
It's
disgusting
just
fruit.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I could deal with all that. It's the fact it looks really creepy and unlike any animal I've ever seen, and it doesn't even look like a
Yeah.
monkey.
It's not an animal,
It
basically.
doesn't have any. Yeah, it's just this creature, and you're so right. It would normally be the sidekick of the evil person, but instead it's some weird surrogate daughter that this queen has got. And you say that the queen looks young. Everyone looks ridiculously young in this film.
Yeah, everyone is like 19 in this movie.
Everyone is fit and young, whoever they are, unless they've got facial hair.
Yeah, yeah.
But I reckon if they all had a shave, even the Darwin guy, you think, oh, he's all right. Yeah, the king, he's 40 because he's got a 60-year-old's beard on it. But he probably looks as young as his son. Obviously, living in this kingdom, this tropical kingdom, is good for you.
Very good for you. Yeah, apparently so.
But yes, Tallulah the monkey. Oh, and she's called fucking Tallulah, which is...
Yeah.
Oh.
Tallulah, my name is Tallulah. Yeah, I've written, oh my God, Antonio, stop. Different, not like the other girls. And then I've written, this is my British accent.
Call blimey, governor, I'm not going up in those trees. Yeah. Well, I've done that. I was a bit Eliza Doolittle there, wasn't I? I think we've got both the Doolittles in this.
It's just a Doolittle crossover.
Oh.
Excellent. So then I'm still confused. We're like 15 minutes into this movie and I'm like, who is the fucking villain? Like, is it the mum? Because the mum has a monkey and is like a child. So is it the mum? But like, she's not doing anything particularly villainous. And then we meet the villains. Well, villain. And we turn around and this girl is walking down the staircase and they're like, hey, we did you an arranged marriage. You're welcome. And he's like, Mom, I forgot. And they're like, shut up. She's right here. Be nice. And I was like, okay, God, no, don't do this. Like, don't make this poor woman be your bitchy, mean villain. And then her mum appears and her mum has like a ridiculous wig and a beauty spot. And
bit of a double chin. The only character
vaguely unhealthy.
She's still
person.
quite attractive for a CGI Barbie film thing, but that's all they can do is just a tiny hint of a double chin, and I think something in, like you say, the beauty spot. That's another classic, isn't it? And I want to say she's got some streak in her hair, but maybe that's just me projecting. I can't remember.
So she's clearly the villain because she literally comes down the stairs. She's got like dark purple eyeshadow.
Yeah. And
like she's just like oozing villainy. And so I was like, okay, cool. She's the villain. Nice. So then what's her name? Is it Luciana?
Is she no, Luciana is the young princess and Ariana is the mum.
Is the mum. So Princess Luciana and her mother, Queen Ariana. So Luciana's actually nice, which is so good. And that's what I was talking about before, where they give the opportunity to showcase a woman to compare Ro to, and they make her nice and kind and clever and sweet. And that's really good because they easily could have made her like an ugly stepsister and just like mean and vicious.
I really like that. I like the
Yeah.
fact that Luciana, although
It's just chill.
not, clearly not compatible. Not only is she, she just likes different things and she's been brought up in a certain way, but she's lovely, and she actually gets it. She doesn't want to get married any more than he does.
Yeah.
And there is no rivalry between Ro and Luciana. I love that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really different.
Barbie's always so good at doing that, at giving us like so many female characters that are just chilling. And you're like, yes, thank you, Barbie. Because like Disney were not doing that. Disney were barely passing the backdoor test at the same time. So really, really good stuff. So then we get Queen Ariana's song, and I was like, yes, bitch. Because like Luciana's like, oh, I really want to marry for love, and like we don't love each other, and that's bullshit. So like I would quite like to marry for love, please. And then like a chord strikes, and I'm like, yes, tell me why love is stupid. Like you just know what this character's going to come out with. Like it's going to be full on Marry the Mole, where she's like, love is pointless and we should marry for money, la 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 la. And it's like, yes. And she basically does that. I was like, perfect, you've ticked all my boxes.
Well,
and then Luciana leaves, and they like one up themselves.
But Ariana, the mother, the Queen Ariana, I struggled a bit with this because she's already a queen. Although apparently a gold digger, and she basically married an old king, and so she's already a queen. This is what I don't understand. I didn't really understand her plan till I read the synopsis, where I realised there's a revenge plot going on here that I'd forgotten about.
Yeah, it's the revenge plot, because she sings the song where she's like, no one should marry for love, and then Luciana leaves, and then she's like, BTW, my parents had treason committed against them by these people. And so then I married a king that was about to die to just get the title of queen. And now I'm going to enact my revenge on these people by making my daughter marry their son. La 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 la. And I was like, cool. Okay.
King Peter know, though, that
right?
he's the daughter of treasonous people. Hey, I think the suspicion is he probably sentenced her parents to death. It's not really said, but
they were demoted to swineherds, which is why she's got a thing against pigs.
Oh, okay. God, this film's deeper than I remember.
It's way deep. Yeah, you really got to like hone in on her song, because there is a lot of exposition here that you need to understand going forward to get a bunch of stuff.
Is that a thing? So, I mean, treason's a big word, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what we did to the Nazis, or anybody who's committed a true treason. Nazis are a bad example, but
Guy Fawkes was not demoted to swineherd.
No, what we used to do is take them to there's a corner in London there where we used to hang everybody. We didn't,
and then hang, drawn, and quartered.
Yeah, we didn't say, now you're working on the farm, and you have
to go work with the pigs. That'll teach you for trying to blow up Parliament.
Nah, you were only an associate. You got to go and look after turkeys in Norfolk, something like that. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, weird. I think that's why I've forgotten it, because it was just weird.
Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. But let's be honest, they couldn't have these people kill anyone regardless of how long ago it was, because then we would just lose all sympathy for them. So then it becomes a bit tiresome, where Ro, not tiresome, that's not fair to it, but Ro is just very one note. Antonio is very one note, where he's like, I've never met a girl like you before. And then Ro is very one note, where she's like, I don't belong here. I want to go back to my island, but never goes back to her island.
And there's nothing really not belonging about her.
Yeah.
She dresses nice, she can talk to everybody. Maybe she picked up the wrong knife at dinner, but let's face it, this is royalty.
We all do.
Right? This is she's got the run of the kingdom.
Outside of the royal family.
No one's that mean to her, really, other than saying, sorry, but there's a fucking prince. There's some things that you have to do, right, as a royal family. Sorry, and the dad sort of says, this is your duty. He's not mean to Ro, I don't think
No.
anyone's particularly mean to Ro.
They look a bit weird at her, which is under fucking standable because she's engaging in conversation with animals in front of them.
Yeah.
And like, even though it's put as like she's still going, wow, that's really cool, while the animal's like,
So why can they understand her? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like.
But then it would be weirder if Barbie started going.
It'd be fucking hilarious. If they do a live action version of this one, I want Barbie, out of Barbie's mouth to come elephant noises and peacock noises and monkey noises,
dolphin noises,
and just subtitle it. You know that's what I want. Not this. She's just talking away and they're going.
So good.
Like the pigs. I don't know. Yeah.
I love it. My next comment that I've written down is, I fully cannot with this monkey's design. It's so distracting to me. I was like, what am I watching? Do I have to like go put bleach in my eyes now? Like, what is this? Like, this is, I remember the sort of, oh God, what even was it? Like the turtle thing from Mermaidia.
Oh,
you know, the like thing
the dragonfly, the turtle. Oh my God, the turtle thing! I just remembered. Yeah. Oh, that opened up and had things inside it.
Yeah, and like this is on par with that. Different vibe, but like same reaction. I'm just like, I was just really uncomfortable watching this monkey prance around, and then for Ro to be like, you're a monkey, you need to climb up these branches. And she's like, but I'll get my fur dirty. I'm a royal monkey now. I can't be doing silly monkey things. Can't be playing these monkey games. And it just felt a bit like, hey, Ro, like, why don't you just back off?
You literally sounded just like the monkey Tallulah then. That was shocking. I just had these flashbacks. No, but there must have been, right? So movies don't make themselves, and animated movies must involve hundreds of people, at Rainmaker Animation. Did nobody in any meeting at any point of time said, this monkey ain't working for me? I don't care. All the stuff you've talked about it being a royal monkey but just the look of it.
It's like someone in that studio, and like, this may be a bit weird to say, but like with the magic of Pegasus, like with some of the other animals that we've seen, it's like someone at the studio is like really into animals in like a big way that's possibly illegal in most countries. And they're just trying to live out some sort of fantasy with like, a sexy, sexy horse, a sexy little monkey. And it's like, what are you doing?
Is she sexy?
This is for children.
Tallulah sexy? I don't know. You might have a whole thing with the accent, I suppose. But
someone has tried to make her like pretty. Do you know what I mean? And it's just not worked. And like Tika's eyelashes are like Kardashian length. Like, they're all just like full on wearing like full faces of makeup, and they're like animals. And it's like, why?
They are.
Why is that?
There is a sexualization of them. It's like young girls dressed up with makeup, isn't it? At pageants.
Yeah.
It's a bit in that.
Yeah, it's very pageantry.
Yeah. But I can see that you are really, 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 really bothered by the monkey, who literally is in 2 scenes in the whole film.
It's just the way it has this relationship with the queen, and the way it's like, so it sits daintily, and it's like, it's just weird to me. It's like the girl in Titanic when Kate Winslet's being all existential, and she looks over at the girl like with all the lace, and she's like folding her napkin delicately onto her like lap and at dinner, and like picking up the right fork, and she's like, oh God, we're all stuck in this societal toxic bullshit, and if we don't throw ourselves off the side of the Titanic, we're all just going to lead miserable lives with horrible husbands. And like, this is what that monkey is inhabiting for me, like this whole vibe of like, I'm a proper little lady. It's like, you're a fucking monkey. And like, that's kind of what Ro is trying to do, but it just doesn't quite, I don't know.
Also, monkeys, right? I quite like monkeys, right? So, but they are disgusting, right?
They're terrifying. They could bite your face off.
I love it. There's a place called Monkey World down in the southwest, which is basically a zoo with just monkeys in it. And when I've been there, I've always been disappointed, that monkeys don't run the place.
Yeah.
I want to pay a monkey, get the ticket from
Oh.
like a monkey and then serve me my dinner and stuff like that. But also, they're all really dirty and they shit everywhere when they're not doing self abuse.
Uh-huh.
So they're kind of gross. And having a pet monkey, which I've thought about in the past, is a real commitment. Like they,
Well, you shouldn't have a
no,
pet monkey.
you shouldn't, absolutely shouldn't have one. But even if you had one, you have to be with them 24/7. You can't even go down
Mm.
to the shops. You can't go on holiday for 2 weeks. This is a shit pet.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think you'd ever think a monkey was a surrogate for a child.
No.
Not like a marmoset like this is trying to be, or something like that. Maybe. No. Oh, you know those films with those chimpanzees in fucking nappies? Or with their fucking
Yeah.
weird anuses that protrude out? Not. It's not. And I think you're quite right. I think there's somebody who's working at Rainmaker that really, really likes animals. This isn't as
Yeah.
bad as the fucking horses. I'd forgotten about that. I had moved on from the sexy horses,
Yeah.
but it's there. But it's also horrible, and somebody should have lost their job over it, and there must have been meetings. There must have been
This is the thing.
meetings.
Who kept greenlighting that design?
They could have said, it's not working. Let's do I don't know, a bird or something instead, because they're quite good at birds.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're really good at birds. Azula has a, or his name is, has Azul has a really, really good design.
mm,
Really, really good design. And like the animation is really smooth and it's really good. But
mm.
Tallulah needs to be put down.
Well, that nearly happens.
Spoiler alert! um, is it Tallulah that then has the song with um the red panda to get her ready for the ball?
Yes, later on, yes. Because
Yes.
the red panda says, yeah, I know how to get you ready for it, and Tallulah
And that's a fun
and
song.
Tallulah goes, oh no, I know how to make people
Mm.
ready for a ball. Oh, and there's the lovely bit where Azul doesn't actually know what a ball is.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got all these airs and graces. He calls himself Prince Azul, or da da da, and he doesn't actually know a ball is a dance. He thinks it's literally a round spherical object. I love Azul.
He's a good character. He's one of the best like animal sidekicks
Mm,
we've come across for sure. Um, yeah, so they make her a dress and it's so nice. Like it's such a good dress.
it's a peacock, basically.
But it's so pretty. It's
Yeah.
like blue with these like it's always the same design. Like don't
Mm,
get me wrong, every Barbie dress fundamentally looks the same. But it's like sparkly. Like I don't even know how they make it, but it's like shimmery and sparkly and it's got all of this sort of like see-through material. It's sort of really nice like feathery corsety bit. It's got really nice sleeves. And then they just stick a big old like peacock fan on her back,
hmm.
which would be uncomfortable and unnecessary, but it makes it more iconic, I guess.
It
Um,
does. Now, can I talk about the weird thing?
yeah.
So, again, obviously these dresses are for toys, etc., etc., etc.
Hmm.
And on the Wikipedia page for this movie, and not all Barbie movies have got Wikipedia, but this one has, there's a picture of a young girl wearing Rose dress. They call it
Yeah.
cosplay, but it's just a young girl wearing Rose dress.
Yeah.
And this is just weird, and this is, I don't know what's wrong with Wikipedia, or what's wrong with people who don't look what they're doing. It says being worn by Mexican child Paulette Guevara. And you think, oh, is she some famous young girl
Yeah,
who's
like
famous for
child.
dressing up that? No, she's a
Mm.
poor girl who was murdered by her parents.
Hmm.
And it's a really horrible, horrible story that they've linked to a Barbie film.
Yeah.
And it's like, please somebody fix that. It's almost worth getting a, maybe I should get an account and get rid of it, because I think that's
It's
horrible.
bizarre. Like it's really strange. So on her Wikipedia page that literally opens with like a victim of a suspicious death,
Mm,
her picture is of her wearing the Island Princess dress. But then for the Island Princess page to have taken that and put it as like a yeah, look, someone's wearing our merchandise, like Barbie. That's cool. And it's like, whoa,
Context
what
surely
the
is
hell?
everything, and it makes me wonder if it's some automation and things like that have got in the way here. But no, the
Yeah.
story. I was reading the story this morning. I think, oh my god, this is awful.
Mm.
And anyway, yes, sorry to bring it down. Let's go back to crappy monkeys. But I just needed to say that they
It's really bizarre.
you know,
It's a really bizarre thing to have.
aren't you
Yeah.
glad I
Just
brought it to your attention?
the dress is nice though.
I think the dress is nice, and this is one of, if I was a Barbie doll collector, this would be a dress I'd be quite happy to have a
It's
Barbie in this
really
dress.
nice. It's different. We don't often get blue dresses for Barbie, and so we usually stay with sort of pinks and purples and pastels. So this is really, really cool. There's some actual like cosplay that people have done on the internet, which all look really, really lovely.
And it kind
Really
of
good
works
stuff.
because it's linking up with Azul. It feels
Yeah,
organic in the
yeah,
context of a Barbie movie.
yeah,
This, this
100%.
is this is what her dress should look like, and she should have another one, which is like a red panda dress. And do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? She could have had more outfits than this, but it worked. It
Mm.
worked, and normally that's not the thing I'm looking at, but this is
Yeah.
this is
It's a
possi
good
it's
dress.
possibly my favourite dress so far.
Yeah, it's a solid dress. It's a really pretty dress.
Mm.
Um, really good stuff. So she goes to the ball and oh God, like I just found it really difficult to like engage with this story. I don't know if you found that.
I'll tell you at the end.
And like Antonio keeps dancing with her and he's constantly like, I've never met anyone like you. Will you marry me? And she's like, I don't even know why I came here. I'm so fish out of water. Everyone's staring at, like, no one's staring at her. But she's like, yeah. And she runs away. I literally cannot remember why, because the script told her to, I guess. Um, and then Antonio abdicates the crown to one of his younger sisters
Oh,
who
sorry.
exist.
Yeah, let's go back to that because yet again we get 3 Shelley Kellys.
Oh, yeah.
Why is there
Yeah,
always 3
yeah.
of the fuckers?
They come in threes.
I mean, I've never. This isn't the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
They're always Ken's younger sisters, and there's always 3 of
Hmm.
them. I'm happy with just one. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
happy with any.
They're
I'm
like,
happy with
let's have
none.
none. Let's go crazy and have none.
But
Like,
what a yeah, and
yeah.
that's not how it works. Sorry, Ken.
Yeah. Because also they're obviously like 7. And
Yeah.
it's like, you can't abdicate to what?
Well, you can't
No.
abdicate what you haven't
Yeah.
achieved. By the way, he can only abdicate from being king. You can't
Yeah.
abdicate from being a prince.
It's weird.
Obviously,
So
your family can take it all away from you. Am I right, Prince
yeah.
Andrew?
Yeah. Oh, heyo. Artist formerly known as Prince.
Mm. But yes, I get what you're saying. This whole bit of the
Back and
movie
forth and
is
like it just feels completely unmotivated and like it's just her being like and it's like shut up, bro. Like either go back to your island or don't and
yeah.
stop moaning about it. And Antonio's just like, but I love you. And it's like, oh my God, like, because the whole thing is that like, oh, he has to marry a princess, so he can't marry Ro because he has to marry a princess. Those are the rules. We're in Aladdin rules.
hmm
You have to marry a princess. And I'm sure, much like Aladdin, someone will change their mind in 15 minutes' time. But we'll just have to wait until then. She's got to prove herself first, so we've got to get up to some mischief. So she runs away from the ball. And Antonio's like, oh, run away with me. And he leaves a message in the greenhouse where she's been residing. And he's like, oh, run away with it. Like, she must smell, right? She never showers. Um,
Maybe
Should
she's
wear
like Prince
shoes.
Andrew and doesn't sweat. Oh, bang!
Oh.
Oh, it's not going to play well in 15 years' time, is it?
No.
What's he talking about?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, topical comedy. Yeah, and so like he leaves her a message to be like, run away with me. I love you. Let's just like fuck off together. And then Tika, the elephant, steals the note and is like, I don't want her to run away with him because she's my best friend. Which, you know, like, is so boring. That's so like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so like shit Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's like, Tika, just put the note down. Like, come up with something more interesting. Like, you had a really fun premise, and you've had some really interesting characters, and then you're not doing much with it. Like, you're really like just doing run of the mill shit with it. So meanwhile, Queen Ariana, who is played by Andrea Martin, who is the cool, fun one from My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Okay, all right, yep.
Yeah, she's like the loud one. So she's really cool, and I love every time she sings. She's got these 3 mice that one of them's a mime, and the other 2 are like normal mice. And they go about and they're basically going to like spread this magic herb to like make all the animals fall asleep, because I don't know why. Before this, we've had a moment at the pigsty where the queen is like, I hate pigs. Again, going back to her backstory. And, and they splatter some mud on her. And she's like, where's that well? I'll just go wipe the mud off. And Antonio's like, Dad, isn't it really suspicious that Queen Ariana knew where the well was? And Peter's like, that is suspicious. How did she know there was a well there? We're talking about a well that is like 2 feet away from where they were standing. Not even 2, I don't know how, like two footsteps away from where they were standing. Like, you could see it from the pigsty. Yeah. Like, it is not suspicious that someone looked slightly to the left and went, there's a well.
Let's go even further, though. This results in nothing, this suspicion.
Yeah.
Why like, waste 15 seconds of our lives,
literally,
which must have taken 3 days to animate?
Yeah.
For something which leads to nothing. It doesn't raise any suspicion about anything for the second half of the movie.
No one suspects Queen Ariana. It's like a huge shock. Like, no, like, oh my goodness, it's crazy. So she's putting all the things to sleep. The mices
to pieces.
Jesus,
and they're rats anyway.
That's easier to say. The rat song slaps. It's so good. It's really fun. But like, it's like this whole word play on like cheese for like 2.5 minutes. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to listen to it again. I think it was good.
It is the best song, although it then, because of all the different types of cheeses they mention, does suggest that this is happening in our world.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have a lot of these cheeses if it wasn't for that. And also, if it really is set, I think this film is based in Mauritius, would be my guess.
Ooh,
I think it's
beautiful.
I think it's just off the. I think it's sort of. There's a whole Indian sort of thing going on, isn't there?
Yeah, like just off the coast of Madagascar.
Yeah, and surely they'd be eating paneer. That was the thing I was going for. You wouldn't have gorgonzola. You're more likely to have paneer or an Indian cheese, which is more like halloumi.
Maybe they import it.
Maybe. But it's nice. It's bullshit that rats eat, or mice, or rats.
Yeah,
I've said they're rats. No, they are rats because they get taught to be rats. Also, did you see that the mime rat is played by himself?
I did. I've got that note at the bottom. It's so good.
I love little things like that.
In the credits, it's like himself.
Yeah, because he doesn't talk. But yeah, it's lovely, and yes, rats get unfairly maligned in many films. You know, which is why Ratatouille.
But at least they're fun.
Yeah, it's fine. It does suggest though that Queen Ariana can talk to the animals as well, and they don't do anything with that.
Yeah. Or maybe she's just taught, because rats are really smart, she's taught them to follow her instructions or something.
Maybe.
I don't know, it's weird.
Again,
I've got a note here that just says, Tika, you backstabbing bitch.
I know. That's because she hid the note, wasn't it? Stupid little animal.
That's weird. I don't know why I have that. I'll get to that in a second. So they think like Queen Ariana speaks to like the Darwin scientist who's meant to be like super smart and into animals, and she has to incept the idea into his own stupid brain that like, hey, maybe it was the like foreign object that we brought into the country with animals that were not vaccinated that's spreading this like disease or whatever.
Rabies can kill.
Which is like a really bizarre plot point for a Disney movie where it's like these like, oh, we need to quarantine these people because they've come from abroad and they're spreading foot and mouth.
Yeah, or rabies or something. Yeah,
what?
It's really fucking weird. But also, I mean, I guess later she's just. I don't really understand the fucking point. This is one of those plans. You know, sometimes you see it's a plan, you think, well, you know, it's a bit silly, but it could come off.
Mm-hmm.
Or you think brilliant plan occasionally. But this is a real Barbie movie plan where you think,
yeah,
you're going to put a handful of animals to sleep.
Yeah.
And hope.
Yeah. That they blame Ro.
They're going to blame Ro. And they literally put 2 pigs, Tallulah, thank God. And also, talking about putting animals to sleep means a whole different euphemism in the UK. They go to the farm upstate.
Oh, Boxer, no!
They don't even get half the fucking animals. They don't get any of Ro's animals. I guess that's the point, though, isn't it? Until Azul stupidly... Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, it's just a weird plan that's really reliant on her being able to befuddle...
On them being a little bit sort of xenophobic and not understanding how anything works. Because she's been here like a week. And you're telling me that overnight this disease has suddenly hit.
Sleeping sickness has taken... But it's all right, because it gets better, because Ro knows what's going on.
Yeah, she's seen it before.
Yeah, this on her island with no other people who are able to make this thing. It's a thing.
She knows the cure.
Do the crocodiles go round sneaking sunset herb, as they call it?
It's so stupid that she knows the antidote. Like, it makes no sense that she knows the antidote.
It's really convenient. Oh, they've got rose tea, and they can make it from the Kew Gardens they've got over there.
Yeah. So then a bunch of bullshit happens, and it's really hard to remember and keep track of what's going on. So Ro is sent away again, but then is like attempted to be shipwrecked again. So then Antonio has to marry Luciana. Azul takes some of the drugs, so he's asleep. Tika confesses to being a backstabbing bitch. So I've then got a note here that says, are they going to kill this elephant? And I can't remember what that's referring to. Does she like drown?
Okay, yeah. Firstly, let's just go back a little bit. So a whole bunch of people have turned up for this wedding, right? And Ro talks to a horse because the Red Panda has worked out that one of the royal families that's turned up to the wedding has potentially got the same banner, emblem, flag as the piece of rag that she was washed up with. She goes to the horse. Oh, because they're nearly there. They've nearly got it. You know, did they have a daughter they lost? No, only 3 sons. Why does he say that?
Yeah.
Which is not true. And B, nothing's done with that. Anyway, yes, sorry.
Yeah. It's completely pointless. So so while all this is happening, we're like, some people are arriving for the wedding, and one of them is this like 22-year-old blonde woman that looks like Barbie. And she gets out of the carriage, and I was like, oh, there's Barbie's mum.
He's nice. He's nice to birds.
Yeah, he's like kind to birds. So you're like,
foreshadow.
Call back. So she's dicking about, and she's just constantly in the back of some shots, along with all of the princesses from the 12 Dancing Princesses.
No, I missed.
Yeah, did you not see them? They were like all in the background. Every single woman that was in the background for the like 3rd act of this movie was a 12 Dancing Princess, because they were wearing their own dresses. Which was a bit weird, because sometimes they reacted to things in a way that I'm like, I was rooting for you 2 movies ago. Like, why are you being bitches now to another Barbie? But yeah, so Ro has some like flashback trauma where she gets chucked into the ocean and suddenly remembers her name.
And I guess that's
Is that how that works?
That's not how amnesia works. No. Well, she hasn't got amnesia.
No,
She's too
she's
young.
just she was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, they go on a ship to go back. A storm happens. They all fall into the sea. I'm guessing that's where you think the elephant's going to die.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to tell you this again from experience. Elephants can swim, and not only that, they have a
Yeah.
nose on the end of a long thing. They are really fucking good at swimming. I've done this in Thailand.
Yeah.
I've literally been on the back of an elephant while it went
Oh,
underwater.
cool.
So I know this is the sea, and she's only little, but the lack of
She
peril
was-
I felt here was
Yeah. Yeah.
also the version I had to watch on YouTube. The sound cuts out during this period,
Ah.
so I have it on DVD, but it's one of these DVDs that won't play on my fucking machine.
That's
So
annoying.
it cuts out. So I'm only assuming that's what happens, that she's having a flashback. It kind of makes sense. And then about 2 minutes later, all the sound comes back in and they're talking about it as if she's remembered everything. And I don't even know.
Yeah, she's like,
I don't
I
even know
remember
what
my name.
I don't even know what she's forgotten, really.
No, like, and there was we never really find out why she was shipwrecked in the first place. There was no malicious act to it. There was no sense of revenge. It doesn't link to anything. It's almost irrelevant to the plot that she's shipwrecked at the beginning.
Was there
She's just put
anybody
on the
else?
island.
How many people died?
Yeah,
What-
like,
it-
why did no one try and look for her? Like it's so bizarre. It's like they were like, let's put Barbie on an island, and then they stopped thinking about it.
but she had nothing to be
And then,
amnesiac
like-
over.
Yeah,
She was able
It's-
to speak perfectly good.
such a wasted opportunity.
Mm,
But they ride on the back of dolphins to come back.
as you would.
And then Ariana has put like the herb in the cake. It just sends people to sleep, right? Or is it like poison?
No, so the point is you sleep, right? But because you're asleep, you can't eat. This is the whole Sleeping Beauty flaw,
Oh my
right? So
god.
they think the point is if she doesn't rescue them, if they don't get rescued, they will die because
They'll just starve to death.
they'll just starve to death because
Oh
they're
my god, that's
asleep.
horrible.
This is a pretty dark plan,
It's horrible.
and it's a kind of I get the kind of revenge aspect, but it's one of those revenges. I think we've seen it before, which isn't just going to hit the person she wants revenge on.
Yeah, it's gonna affect everyone.
She's going to get the 12 dancing princesses.
Yeah, yeah.
And
like, what's scary is that she's told her own daughter, like, don't eat anything. Like, that really gave me chills when, like, Barbie comes back and she starts accusing Ariana, and everyone's like, what? This perfectly reasonable, kind-looking woman you're saying is trying to poison us all? What? Barbie, get out of here! And, like, no one believes her. So then they're trying to get the antidote to an animal to prove that Barbie has the cure. And we get to see the red panda like run, like on its hind legs, like with holding the cure. And it's like so adorable. It's like really clunky and weird. And he's like, like it's just really cute. That was me vocalizing what it looks like watching this panda run.
Okay.
Like it's just so cute. It's adorable.
I hear you.
Oh yeah, my note here says, Barbie, there's a 21-year-old following you. It must be your mum.
I'm feeling you're really bothered by this age thing.
It pisses me off, and Disney have started doing it as well, where like Tangled's mum is like 2 years older than her, and you're just like, for fuck's sake, like women are allowed to age, like Jesus. Yeah, and then they wake up to Lula, unfortunately, and and then yeah, it gave me chills. Luciana steps forward and she's like, "But mother, if you didn't poison the cake, why did you tell me not to eat anything?" I don't know why she sounds like Tina from Bob's Burgers, but
She's so cool
like-
though because she dobs in her own mother.
yeah, it's very brave.
I really like Luciana.
I really love her.
You know, all right, so she likes opera. I could oversee that. I
I
could work
It's a minor
past that
flaw.
because she's genuinely lovely. She doesn't
Yeah.
want any part of this any more than the prince does.
She's like way cooler than Ro. Like I
Yeah.
almost wish Ro had to go back to her island. So then they had a shot at Antonio and Luciana together because I feel like they could find common ground and just chat.
This
and
could be
just,
like one of the others. I mean, I don't mind her meeting a man, or what, we're going to have to accept it's going to be a man, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be a lady. It's not going to be an animal, whatever that animator wants. But if she'd met somebody else, and like what's the one where that does happen? Oh, the Princess and the Pauper, isn't
The
it?
Princess and the Pauper, yeah, they like switch.
I kind of like that, and so they could kill the monarchy in Barbie movies and say, actually, it turned out that Luciana and Thingy, they both resigned they both abdicated, and they went off and found common ground by singing an opera on horseback or something, and Ro met someone else.
Yeah.
And
or didn't because she's like Mowgli.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't just
Or like she spent some time with her fucking long lost mum. Like
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So we'll just skip to that bit. So like blah blah blah, everyone wakes up, Ariana lands in the pigsty, egg on your face. She remembers her full name, and a wedding guest, Queen Marissa of Palladia, comes forward saying she lost her. She's literally like, What did you say your name was? Huh? Oh, Rosella. I had a daughter called Rosella.
Yeah,
And like that's dumb and shit, and I hate it. But like then they do the brilliant thing where they're like, soon you'll be home with me once upon a December, and they like do the duet thing where you're like, yeah, you're together again.
It all went together.
There are so many long lost parents in Barbie movies.
There
like
are.
there's so it's like every movie someone has been taken at birth.
Wouldn't this be a known thing?
Yeah, like why are there not
princess,
posters everywhere? Or
it's only 10
like, why
years
is she
ago.
not more freaking out? Like why is she not like, oh my Jesus Christ, we thought you had died?
Because
where's your husband? Where like what? Like
there's a lot, but people would know. It would be big news.
So easy.
It would be the only news, even if this is set back in the 16th century, which I'm not entirely sure when it's set. I'm guessing more like 19th century or something like that.
Like a Pirates of the Caribbean type time, I think.
Yeah, it would be news. And if they had found a girl who was 16 years old, that's what I'm kind of guessing, 16 to 19 years old, on an island, would they not have, I don't know, the celebrities of the day would have been the royalty, and this would have been a known thing.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just, but let's accept it. This is the nature of the beast. This is the nature of the sort of films that we've chosen to watch.
Well, it's not though. Like it's not been. I'm disappointed in this movie in its prioritizing of the relationship. Like the relationship between Barbie and Ken. They either make it the full-on point of the story and make it incredibly romantic, or it's just like a bonus at the end. Whereas this is doing a weird mixture where they're like really trying to push the romance aspect to the point where the fact that she was shipwrecked on a fucking island, which is how we open the movie, and is reunited with her mum, is not at all a thing. And she immediately marries Antonio. They get on a boat and piss off on a new adventure. And you're like, and her mum is like waving goodbye from the dock. And you're like, what?
Yeah,
what?
You've waited, decades. You've been mourning your daughter. You've got to make us.
Literally.
Also, I just don't buy it. I don't buy the romance. Right? First, he's got the horn. He's got the horn for Island Girl. Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole movie, she's been like, oh no, I don't feel right. I hate it.
This is the only man she's ever met.
Yeah.
There's only males she's ever met. Let me put it that way. Other than Darwin boy. I mean, I'm not saying she has to play the field, but does she love him? Does she love him? We don't know. Don't get married yet. Court a little. I just never feel there's anything that happens between the two that becomes deserving of
because
love.
We know that they all just like rush into marriage in these movies, and that's fine. It's to be expected. But you're right. Like other relationships felt more earned. They felt more fleshed out. I just felt more okay with it.
There's
Whereas
no
like
reason
this one
for Ro to fancy Antonio.
It's so. They've not given us one, and they've had a whole movie in which to do so, and they just like all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I'm really sad that he's marrying Luciana because I actually really like him," and it's like, "Whoa, since when?" Like he made his feelings about you ridiculously clear from the word go. in a bad way, but at least they were clear. You've been talking about other shit for like half an hour, and now you're suddenly into him, but like I only know that because you're telling me. Like it's just so a lot of it is so shallow
If he'd been
and
involved
thoughtless.
with the resolving the crisis, even,
Yeah.
and that they'd worked together and
Oh
found
yeah,
common ground,
exactly.
it's just Horny Prince finds Wild Girl, the end. Um,
Yeah.
and just there's
Who
something
gives a
off
shit
about
about her
that.
mum, I guess. Yeah.
And there's a woman who's mourning for the loss of her child. There's and what happens to Luciana, who's dobbed in her
I
mother?
think she like meets someone at the wedding, I
Oh,
think.
okay, because that's what happens as well, isn't it?
Yeah, of
You come
course.
to my wedding, but hey.
Yeah.
This is better than I had the bridesmaid. This is I took the bride. God, yeah, it's weird because I think there's a lot going on in this film,
Yeah,
and
there's
and
so
I do think
much.
it would have been better served by streamlining it a little. I think,
Yeah, just pick something to follow through with. The premise of Shipwreck Barbie is so cool and
mm,
it feels so underused and it feels so like it's always thoughtless. There's always big problems with these movies that we're like, nobody thought about this for more than 2 seconds. But this one, no one thought about it for even like 1 second by the like it feels like it just
mm,
and I like we don't meet the villain for ages and she's like the thing is I've written here so much good stuff that I'm extra picky. And like I think that's it. I think I'm just so much like the Magic of Pegasus was like a really good idea that they just didn't quite hit. This had a million good ideas in it, and then they just literally like threw it together and then like threw it at the production team and they're like go. And everyone was like, do you want to take some time to like work this out? And they're like, nah, it's fine. When you think how tight and good The Princess and the Pauper was as a full-length animated musical, and then compared to this one, it just feels so flat. I don't know.
I think to me it feels a bit like we're in this second phase now, and there quite isn't. And yes,
The effort isn't
yes
there.
they have been coming out every 6 months, but and yes, they've got the monkey model and the princess models and and it's a bit of a machine, and this is but it just feels like a B-side. If it was a
Yeah.
single, I don't know if you understand that, being only
Yeah,
30, but
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
feels like, well, everything's here, and this is the person I want to listen to, and I'm not going to lie, I quite like this one, but that's only because the last one maybe was so dreadful.
The last one was awful.
Um, that and I've said to you, I think I like this a lot more than you.
And I thought I liked it, and I like so
And
much
are we
about
being
it.
picky?
Yeah, I think I'm being so picky, and it's not fair on this movie, but I'm just used to a certain standard
Mm.
now that I'm like, why are you not
And
like
and I think the issues that we have with it, Tallulah, and the politics of it, and
Tallulah's not even that bad.
oh no, yeah,
It's just the like I don't know, it just feels quite forgettable. It didn't
mm,
engage me. I had to really put an effort into like watching it and I was like what like she just the character of Ro just spends the whole movie dicking about and it pisses me off. She's just constantly whining about how she doesn't fit in. And it gets really boring really quickly. And then Antonio is such a one-note pony of just consistently being
yeah,
like, but I really like you. And it's like, what? And like
no,
Luciana's a gem of a character. Ariana's a really cool villain. I love the mice. I love the songs. I love the world. Oh, we forgot to say the king was obviously like right before we realized she's a princess anyway, and therefore it doesn't matter. He's like, oh, whatever, marry who you want. You don't have to marry a princess anymore. And it's like, I hate that shit. Like, this movie could have been over 2 hours ago if we had just allowed that, like,
yeah,
a day earlier.
and I
Um,
don't think it commits. I'd like to see why Ro feels um out like a fish out of water. Yeah,
yeah.
I wanted,
I want to know why she was shipwrecked.
yeah.
I want to know why no one came to look for
There
her.
are things I could do without in the movie, like Tika. Bless her. I understand she's
Yeah,
a toy cell, but
yeah,
nothing about it. Who wasn't even there at the beginning. She introduced really randomly as
yeah.
after the shipwreck. she's unnecessary. The letter that she stops, that would have been stupid anyway. And there's a million other ways they could have
Yes,
resolved that. I could
literally.
happily have done without any of Tika
Hmm.
and had some adventures in the town and
Yeah.
and and had something which makes Antonio and Ro work.
Yes, just like give them more conversations that are not him going, "You're so beautiful," and her going, "But I don't belong."
Yeah, and
Like it's boring.
and a bit like you, I'd rather have seen Barbie as Robinson Crusoe
Yeah.
than Barbie as Island Girl, who's not
As
even on the
as
island
like
very long. Yeah, all that wonderful
yeah.
stuff with the swinging around, the Barbie as
Yeah.
Tarzan. Nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
Nothing comes of it at all. Barely anything comes of her being able to speak of animals, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's weird, but at the same time, I do kind of like this,
Oh
and
wow.
and I was charmed. But I even like the songs, and this is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just don't know. It just ticked a lot of boxes for me. But I think it's it's routine. It's
Yeah.
harmless. I It's not going to be one in the big picture that we're going to necessarily remember.
Hmm.
But I wasn't as offended by it as maybe you were.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
fair.
that's probably what maybe I just like the idea of finding an island girl and and just bending it to my will or something like that. No, I'm kidding. But
Amazing.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That is a kind of male fantasy thing, isn't it? That's Pocahontas. That's
Yeah,
this
it
film.
just doesn't I don't know.
That is Eliza Doolittle. You the and
Mm,
again, she's fucking just too clever. If she was thick or stupid or clumsy or
hmm.
inappropriate or dirty, but no, she
Yeah,
wears really nice clothes. She's really
perfect.
clean. She's perfect. She speaks perfect English, as well
Yeah.
as talking to animals. Come on, that's pretty fucking cool. Um, and so there's nothing about her that I think is other than she's talking to animals. She's no different to Princess Luciana, and I did love that as well. I did love that Princess Luciana was genuinely
Yeah,
nice,
she was a really cool character.
and I wish they had more time together.
Yeah,
Again, there's other streams of the story they could have raised up, and other things they could have got rid of.
yeah.
So there we go. Are we done?
Yeah, where are we gonna put it?
So let's go back to the magic sheet. That's the song I've
So
just invented.
I love it.
Uh,
Currently, and you can look at our list on Letterboxd as well. Um, you can see what how it's ranking at the moment. So at number one, Barbie is the Princess and the Pauper. And it's so funny that this is a full-length musical and like yet it's going to be nowhere near that one.
yes, I'm just looking where I want to put it. I'm. I think. I don't think you hated this movie. I think you were
No,
disappointed with it.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's obviously better than Magic of the Rainbow, which I think is our nadir.
yes, that's at number 11 at the moment.
Yeah.
It's better than Barbie and the Rockers Out of This World.
And I struggle a bit with the Nutcracker.
Hmm.
Also potentially set in the same part of the world with all that Indian Raj stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'd like to propose
Hmm.
number in between Nutcracker and Rapunzel.
Oh wow, it's a lot lower down than I thought you were going to try and push it.
Well, I think the highlight of this is a movie that Stephen really loves, but maybe everyone else isn't so keen on, is the Barbie Diaries, which is at 7. I think, yeah, it's Nutcracker Rapunzel territory, but Tallulah is taking a mark off. Because if you look at the Nutcracker, the extra characters are fun in that, and in Rapunzel we
Mm.
have a dragon.
Yeah, that dragon was awesome.
So I like dragons. So I'm thinking, yeah, to sort of push Nutcracker down to 10, and put it in at number 9.
Yeah, put it in at
Something
number
like,
9.
something like that.
So currently number 1, well, we'll go down from so number 12 is Magic of the Rainbow, followed by at 11, Rockers Out of This World. Then in at 10 is The Nutcracker. At 9, new in is Barbie as the Island Princess. At number 8, it's Rapunzel. 7, for some reason, it's The Barbie Diaries. In at 6, it's The 12 Dancing Princesses. At 5, still sad about this one, it's The Magic of Pegasus. In at 4, it's Fairytopia. In at 3, somehow it's managed to last this whole time, is Swan Lake. In at 2 is the fucking astoundingly wonderful Mermaidia. And in at 1 is the iconic Princess and the Pauper. That's where we stand at the moment.
I think we've got a really strong top 4.
Yes.
I think there is plenty. I think it's going to be hard for other films
to infiltrate
I've
that.
got a couple here that I'm potentially excited about.
I'm very excited for a lot. I'm excited for Diamond Castle.
Okay.
I'm pumped for the Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers, Christmas Carol. That's where I'm thinking. I like it when we do a Barbie.
Doing a literacy thing.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
For some reason in my head, Barbie Princess Charm School is also appealing. Although that's because I'm imagining. I read a book once called The Charm School, which was about by Nelson DeMille, which was about a place where female spies.
This isn't Barbie Does Black Widow.
I know.
She goes to learn etiquette.
Oh my god! It would be so cool in my head if she became a spy. There is a Barbie spy squad coming up, but yeah, if it was a charm school where Barbie learnt to murder Kens around the world. I know it's really going to be about using the right cutlery and stuff like that, but in my head that's the one. That's where I'm anchoring myself.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool ones coming up. 2 Christmas ones sort of close to each other. We got Mariposa, which I think is the same universe as Fairytopia.
It's a spin-off, yeah. I think Barbie, the Fairytopia Barbie, is like the narrator or the opener of it and stuff like that. So we'll see where that goes.
Nice.
And of course, the one that we're all waiting for is Barbie and her sisters in a puppy chase, which I want to be some crazy slapstick comedy, but I know it's going
like
to be
Snow Dogs.
Oh my god, I didn't realise. And there's a great puppy adventure.
Oh my
Barbie
god.
and her sisters movies, yeah. Or the Rock and Royals. That sounds kind of fun. There's zillions.
There's a lot coming up that I think
they're still making them, since there seems to be one. There still seems to be one every 6 months that comes out.
Amazing.
I know we'll never end this show, but yeah, okay. So we move this. Yeah, I kind of like this one, I have to say, but I absolutely hear what you're saying.
It's just their relationship was just so frustrating when you compare it to the romance of Swan Lake or the friendship of Mermaidia, friendship/LGBTQ plus relationship, and the romances of the Princess and the Pauper. Like, and it really wanted to push the relationship aspect of this movie, but it was just the same shit for an hour and a half.
But it did have a red panda, and it did have one of the best dresses, and it had a nice song.
Yeah. If we were ranking this on dresses, this would have shot straight to number 1, I think.
Indeed. I might go on eBay and cosplay as it. No, I won't. But yes, nice. Okay.
Nice. Excellent.